In the elite high society circles of Europe, one rule reigns supreme. Billionaires believe they can buy anything, including another man's mind. Victor was a ruthless real estate tycoon whose massive net worth was only matched by his staggering arrogance. His ego was his greatest weapon, but it was also about to become his ultimate downfall. For 3 years, a brilliant 26-year-old art consultant named Julian had been the secret architect behind Victor's prestige, tracking down rare masterpieces and historical artifacts that elevated Victor into the social stratosphere. But overnight, greed took over. Using forged legal loopholes, Victor seized Julian's life savings and cut him out of a multi-million-dollar art acquisition. When Julian demanded his fair share, Victor threw a checkbook at his face and told him that people like him were only meant to decorate a billionaire's walls, not dictate their price. Julian knew that taking a billionaire to court was a fool's errand. Victor's wealth would simply buy out the legal system. Instead, he decided to weaponize a dangerous dark psychology tactic known as the ego mirror. The rule is simple: never fight an arrogant enemy. Instead, feed their reflection until the weight of their own vanity crushes them. Julian sent Victor a calm, calculated message stating that there were no hard feelings, it was just business, and that he wanted to offer him the ultimate prize as a parting gift, a secret Renaissance masterpiece, long rumored to be stolen from the Vatican, valued at nearly $300 million. Blinded by greed and convinced that Julian had been thoroughly intimidated, Victor bit the bait immediately. For the next 3 months, Julian vanished into a hidden workshop in London. He didn't search for a lost painting, he created one. Using cutting-edge artificial intelligence models and master forgers, he manufactured a canvas that perfectly mimicked 500-year-old brushstrokes, embedding historical symbols that only top appraisers could decode. But the true masterpiece wasn't the painting itself, it was the digital ecosystem Julian built around it. He planted fake auction leaks, fabricated historical archives, and manipulated deep web data to ensure that when Victor researched the asset, every digital footprint confirmed its authenticity. Victor became obsessed, believing he was the only man alive who held the key to the world's greatest secret. The trap snapped shut at a highly exclusive private auction hosted inside a historic castle outside London. The room was filled with high society elites, many of whom were actually actors hired by Julian to drive up the tension. The bidding started at $50 million and rapidly escalated. Driven by the fear of losing his status and intoxicated by his own ego, Victor lost all emotional control. He aggressively outbid everyone, eventually leveraging his company's shares and liquidating his prime assets to drop a staggering $280 million on the final gavel. The next morning, Victor brought the prize to the chief validator of a prestigious national museum to publicly claim his glory. The expert took one look under the chemical scanners and shook his head, explaining that while the canvas was old, the synthetic polymers in the paint had been invented less than a year ago. It was a brilliant, worthless modern forgery. Panic set in as Victor desperately called his financial team, but it was already too late. The $280 million had already been routed through untraceable crypto protocols into offshore accounts. His real estate empire collapsed within days. His investors abandoned him, and the man who once looked down on everyone was left with nothing but a worthless piece of cloth. When someone later asked Julian why he never used physical force or legal threats to take his revenge, Julian simply smiled and replied that when your enemy is blinded by arrogance, you don't need a weapon. You just have to hold up a mirror that amplifies their greed and watch them gladly jump into the abyss. The world learned a brutal lesson. Money is not true power. True power is the mind that commands it. If you want to master the hidden laws of human behavior and never get played by the system, you're in the right place. Hit that subscribe button right now, turn on notifications, and claim your psychological edge. See you in the next strategy.